In this video, we're going to look at drawing a person, but drawing a person that's maybe a little bit more realistic than our friend over here on the left. So maybe a little bit more muscle definition. So we're going to start with our same oval, maybe a little taller, more narrow. But instead of a rectangle, we're going to draw a trapezoid, because our shoulders are typically narrower than our hip down here or our waist. Not always, but sometimes. That can give us a more muscular look. And we're going to draw two lines going out. And we could draw, instead of a line straight down, we could do our curve for our scarf there. For our arms, one way you can start is by doing sort of a pencil mark to show, just lines to show where they're going to be drawing. But what I'm going to do is, instead of just rectangles, I'm going to use ovals. And the reason I'm going to use ovals is because then we can actually see the muscles of our person. We can also add a muscle, some elbows in there. And for hands, let's start with a square. And then we'll add fingers off of those. And I'll draw that same snowball. And one thing to keep in mind is erasing is always a part of our drawing. And these shapes are just getting us started. So I might go that way. So I'm going to give them more of a bend to their leg. But our shapes are getting us started. They're not going to be our final. And for our feet down here, I'm going to do more of a triangular shape than an oval. And even for that back foot, we might give it more of that triangle, even like a bend. So it's almost like a square with a triangle attached. That would probably be a better explanation. So those shapes kind of build us. And then let's add a few details, like a collar for our jacket. And for pants, so we're doing kind of an outline here with a harder line. And what that is doing is kind of unifying these shapes, so it doesn't look like we're just a person that's made solely out of shapes. And you could go back and you could erase some of these if you want to. One thing we could also do is we could add other details, like if we wanted to add a belt, if we wanted to add pockets, if we wanted to draw seams into our pants there, or add a belt. But drawing with the shapes is going to give us a little bit more definition. And of course, let's give our person a face. So not quite so much straight of lines as we had before. And we could use some lines to line up our eyes a little more naturally. Draw corners in those eyes.